Hi everyone, welcome back to another day. We are at Tuesday already. So hopefully things are going well. Hopefully the multi-step equations yesterday went okay for you. And hopefully you got in contact with me if you had questions. So we are going to keep moving right along. We are going to do day 2 of multi-step equations. So we're just going to add another piece onto this. Remember, we do want to get really good at solving equations because next year in algebra, that's what you're going to be doing all the time. So you're going to spend a lot of time working with equations, and we just want to make sure we're the best that we can be at it. So multi-step equations, day 2. Like I already said, we're going to add one step at a time and a little bit at a time. So on this particular problem, you're going to notice that there's just one more step, and that is to use the distributive property. So yesterday we didn't encounter any parentheses. Today we're going to see that first. And anytime you see parentheses in a problem, they're just really, they get in the way. They obstruct us from doing other things. So we're going to try to always use the distributive property first, and then combine like terms, and then finish solving our problem. So you'll start to see that these become very repetitive, and we do the same thing over and over, just with different numbers. And it is really just a series of steps that we have to follow. So let's go ahead and get started on the first example. So notice here we have these parentheses, and we still go ahead and draw our line down just like we always did. But now these parentheses mean we need to distribute, okay? So I have a -4 that has to be distributed to both the -8 and the +4, okay? So -4 times -8 is +32, so we're going to put 32. And then -4 times +4, we're going to have a plus a -16k, okay, equals 112. Okay, from there, we have a simple equation to solve. This is a simple 2-step equation, which we should already be good at. We want to keep the variable and its best friend together as long as possible, so we need to get rid of the 32. So we would put -32, and my pen is kind of all over the place. So -32. Okay, 112 minus 32 is going to be 80, equals -16k. And of course, you can use a calculator on any of this if you need it. We're going to finish by dividing by -16. Don't forget about those negative signs. Most of the time, if you get something wrong, it's probably because you forgot a negative sign. So 80 divided by -16 is -5. So we have k equals -5. And again, today you should end up with really nice answers. If you're getting some weird decimal or fraction, then go back and double check your work. Make sure you didn't forget a negative sign or anything like that. So I'm going to check this. Again, you don't have to, but it does help if you want to just make sure if you did it right. So k is -5, so we're going to put that in there. So in these parentheses, we have -8 plus -20, which is -28. And then we have to times that by -4. And negative times a negative is positive. 28 times 4 is 112. So we know we have our answer correct. Okay. All right, so let's look at example 2. This one looks a little bit longer and more complicated, but just because it gets longer doesn't mean it's harder. The steps are still the same. So we're going to start with the distributive property. We're going to distribute this -3 to both of these items, okay? So I have -3 times 1, which is -3. And then we have -3 times, I'm going to count this as a -2p. Okay, so -3 times -2 is +6p plus 7p. Okay, remember we don't distribute to the 7p because it's not in the parentheses, but it's still there. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is combine like terms. So I'm going to put this +6 and +7p together. So we have -3 plus 13p, and that's what equals our negative 81. Now we're going to solve that. We want to keep the variable and its best friend together as long as possible. So we have to get rid of this negative 3 with a positive 3 on both sides. So we have 13p equals negative 81 plus 3 is negative 78. Okay, and then our last step would be to divide by 13. Okay, so I don't know 78 divided by 13 off the top of my head, so I'm going to use my calculator, and I get 6. So P equals, I don't want to forget the negative sign, negative 6. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast through any of this. If I am, you can always re-watch the video. That's the nice part of all of this, is you have the videos to watch. So I'm going to check it, negative 3. I'm just recopying the problem. I didn't do any math yet. Then I'm going to replace the p's with negative 6. So we have negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. So we have 1 plus 12 is 13 times negative 3 is negative 39. Then we have this plus 6. Negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. And if we add those together, we get negative 81. So again, our answer works. P equals negative 6. Okay, let's just do one more. Draw the line by the equal sign just like we always do. That's part of how you're going to show your work on your homework also. Then we are going to distribute. We see parentheses, we always distribute first. So we have negative 15x plus a negative 30. It would have been okay just to put a minus 30 there also. Okay, in fact, I might like that better. When you have less operation signs to deal with, it's kind of easier. So I'm just going to wait for my computer to catch up today. Okay, negative x minus 30 equals a negative 120. We want to keep the variable and its best friend together as long as possible. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Okay, then I'm going to add 30 to both sides because it was a minus 30. So this is negative 90 equals negative 15x. And then our last step, divide by negative 15. Okay, so I'm going to do 90 divided by negative 90 divided by negative 15. And we get a positive answer because it's a negative divided by a negative. And so we get positive 6. Okay, one last time to go back and check it. Again, I suggest you check your answers just so you know if you're doing them right, but it is not a requirement at this point. Okay, I'm going to put the 6 in for x. Remember, you're just copying the problem. And then replace the letter with the number. So we have 18 plus 6. And 18 plus 6 is 24. Then we take that 24 and we're going to multiply it by negative 5. And that gives us negative 120. So my answer works, and everything worked out. Okay, so that is it for multi-step equations day 2. Hopefully that all made sense to you. If you need some more explanation, please re-watch the video. Remember, I'm still available by Zoom. If you need some help on something, you can contact me. We can set up a Zoom. I'm more than happy to do that. I miss seeing you guys, so that would be kind of fun. Just let me know if you need anything. Email me, ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm still here to help you out as much as I can. Have a great day, you guys.